negotiations is ballet. You have to be so precise the way you do everything. Your silhouettes, your jumps. You're managing so much personalities. It's not a computer can't do that. Hey guys, Steve Zalunardo and Hussein Kabani in East Meets West podcast. We're here on a beautiful Thursday because we had to avoid the Wednesday with the awesome snowstorms that we had here in Toronto. And that's pretty much it. How was your week, buddy?
Week has been good.
Yeah.
Just going back to our snowstorms, it's like every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we have this thing planned, and it's just like either I'm coming up there or you're coming down here, and it's always on freaking Wednesday that this thing goes.
Fair enough, yeah.
And then it screws up kind of where we have to massage our schedule
The
rest
flow,
of the way.
fair enough.
Yeah, man, it's so annoying.
Yeah, you caught me on my intermittent fast. I had to stop by and grab a breakfast sandwich on the way in because it's 10 a.m. now, right?
So you got to eat.
That's
you only got a few more hours.
That's it, yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Before I turn into a pumpkin, you got to be careful, right?
No, man, the week in real estate has been good. I mean, nothing crazy has happened this week for us. Yeah, we had a couple of deals that firmed up last week. Nothing crazy. Like, we have a listing that's coming up onto the market. We've talked to a couple of other people that are starting to list. The listing inquiries have definitely gone up over the last few days. Listing inquiries have definitely gone up.
Yes.
Like, for example, there was even one person that I spoke to last year in like March. And they just sent an inquiry last night, about how is the market? Can you come over and give us an update and whatever else? And they're going to be looking to list in the spring. So definitely get a sense of more listings coming up for sure. Yeah.
Same here. Same idea. Like a ton of calls. People are starting to get that flow, that buzz of the spring market.
Yeah.
But this is now. We got to hit the market now.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, because inventory position seems to be improving slightly, right? We just climbed over 13,000, right? Just over 13,000.
I don't know what I reported. It was 13 on Monday. I forgot the amount. Was it, 13.2? I think it was 800 over the last number, or 13.7, something like that. 13.1, I think.
Yeah, it's just over 13,000 listings available. Yeah. So it's good. Inventory position is improving a little bit. And then I know that we're going to have more stuff coming up. Like this week, we didn't do too bad. This week we signed 2 listings. Nice. One of the listings we were supposed to have staged and on the market today. We delayed it a day because they were painting up the main floor, but we were supposed to be on the market today. Our stagers actually got into a car accident yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Hit some black ice. Yeah, they're good. But then what we did was...
Did they damage the furniture?
No, thank God.
I'm going to eat chips on here. Is that okay?
Yeah, you go ahead, man.
Is that okay?
Eat your chips. We know you have a limited time to eat, so you go ahead.
Before I turn into a pumpkin, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, so basically it was funny. So what we ended up having to do is, like, the client, like, obviously has a timeline as well. So the stagers came last night. Like, they had a rental U-Haul truck. They came last night. And I met them there with our team. So we all went and helped and set it up yesterday evening.
That's good.
So we all set up the place yesterday evening.
How's it look?
Looks great, yeah. So we'll have the pictures and video taken today, and we'll be on the market tomorrow, a little bit later than we like.
Very good, yeah.
We'll be on the market.
Yeah,
cool. And then we have another one that's going to come up in the next 2 weeks that we signed. Nice houses, all in the kind of price points that are moving, 550 to 700.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a nice range to be in.
Yeah.
Even so myself, going back on the inventory, so I was looking at it just like as I'm paying attention to this very intensely. So I think within 1 week, we went up about 700 units or something of that nature. But 1,500 actual units came to the market, but 665 or 64 sold.
Yeah.
So look at it. So it's almost like whatever's coming on, half of it's going down. So that's pretty good. It's a good ebb and flow market.
Yeah.
And look at this. I listed that house there in Nobleton, 1.389, which... we're not grossly overpriced, but I know we're about, I think about 50 to 60 G's more than, let's say, the last sale, let's call it, right?
Yeah.
And even maybe more than that, I'm going to be honest. But right now, it's positioned so well that it looks like the best deal in town. So we had a showing yesterday, 3 today booked, and I'm hoping to unload this thing by the weekend. It'd be great just to get it off my clients' books, right, and get it going. And it's pretty good. Same thing. So I resold that condo.
Oh, you resold it? What, they didn't close?
No, so we didn't follow up with that. No, not the status, financing. So we had we had the finance condition to the Friday. I think they had to extend it 2 more business days, and then it was like, we can't get it. But anyway, it was just a weird situation. I think they were manipulating something with maybe their numbers financially, and
just didn't feel comfortable.
The offer came in with 7 banking days originally. I adjusted it down to 5 banking days naturally, just to kind of make that Monday to Friday so we can close it and not go over the weekend. And so we got to that Friday, they extended it 2 more days. That tells me there's something
going on,
right?
Yeah.
It's not on the up.
Because you can get approvals pretty quickly right now, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go with someone like an
400
MCAP, if you go with MCAP,
Yeah,
they're like same day.
MCAP,
You submit literally, dude. Like you submit the application today.
They're hungry.
By the end of the day, you got an approval, and their rates are so aggressive. Like I'm just butting in with this.
What are they at? What are they at?
Like they were like even prime -1 right now
For variable?
for variable rate.
Prime
yeah.
-1. What is that?
I think it was like 2. What was it? Like 2.5. 2. Yeah. 2
For
2.75.
variable already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's back to the old days.
Yeah, well, MCAP is being very, very, very aggressive.
Smart.
And I heard Scotiabank, because I was talking to somebody else that sat down with the regional VP of Scotiabank, and they were offering them some really crazy rates. Right
Yeah,
now,
they're
too.
starting.
Yeah.
At the gym yesterday morning, I was treading next to the bank manager for TD in Nobleton area, and same thing. She's like, and she's in charge of the mortgage division, and she's like, we're getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
He goes, we get deals in, we send them to the bank, and we can't get them approved.
Yeah.
And so she's like, we're suffering.
Yeah.
So now they're going to get to some aggressive spring campaign where they're actually going to give money back to to buyers, like $1,500 back, plus other incentives, like $3,000 to $5,000, stuff like that. So it's going to be.
You know what? Based on all of this,
they're suffering.
Yeah, based on all of this, and then some of the stuff that we covered even last week, like how the government is planning on relaxing some of the rules.
Yes,
I think we're going to probably see. Hopefully, we're probably going to see a very aggressive spring market.
Yeah. That's
I think 2019 is going to be a very aggressive market.
And exactly. Remember, federal election. I'm always gonna fall back to that, like I was suggesting last year, 2018 going into 19. We've got a federal election. They have to boost this economy the best way they can.
Yeah.
2020, whoever's in power, it has to correct whatever, if there's any defaults. Naturally, like they're starting to look at the provincial government. They're starting to cut grants and stuff, solar power grants. And so I have an electrical contractor, and he's thrived on solar power because the government would give incentives of 50% back or something of that nature. And so Doug Ford have actually just canceled that incentive. And even my contractor says, yeah, sure. Why is the government got to pay 50% of the solar power units on these buildings, and naturally we have no money to give as a province, right? Yeah. So just based on that, we're kind of seeing how trade of power from liberal to conservative now in the province where they're starting to get cuts. But so back to sold that one back conditional. So hopefully this week we can firm it up. We firmed up the other deal, which was great. We submitted an offer last night on another property. Yeah. But we went into a bidding war, and my clients are not prepared. We still have their house coming to market next week, and I always tell them, just let's get it on the market and see where we're at, and then
see what the traffic looks like before you start making moves on it, right?
So they wanted to submit an offer. It's like, if we get it at this price, we're fine with it. So I submitted the offer and just let it go. Had 2 other offers plus ours, which is 3. And naturally, we didn't get it. It was weak, right? It was maybe like 3 to 5% below market, full conditions, and closing was in July. So it's like, but it's a good exercise even for your clients to kind of
at least they understand what's going on.
You can run through the clauses. There's this deposit. And
you know what? And the thing is that I think we're probably going to see a little bit more of that this year in terms of getting into multiple offers. Mm-hmm. I think we're probably going to see that. So like you said, it is a good exercise. And on our end over here, we've been seeing quite a bit of it. I've had a buyer for a condo unit, and a lot of the condo units I've been making offers on. I've made a couple of offers in Scarborough on a condo units, and then in Markham.
Bidding wars?
Yeah, basically, the thing is, maybe they're not set up for bidding wars, and maybe they're not going over asking. But what ends up happening is, and slightly over asking, but what ends up happening is that we submit an offer, and all of a sudden, 12 hours later, there's another offer that comes in, and then they're just we got another offer. Come on, dude. It's been sitting here for 14 days, and nothing happened.
Timing, right?
Yeah.
So we're pushing so hard to get on the market now, where everyone's thinking because it's snowy and cold that it's the wrong time to list. They're waiting for green grass and flowers.
No, it's
not the case, man.
Point.
Right now is so much. Look at me this morning. I got to the office because I had to be here early. Yeah. But anyway, usually I'm there at 7:45. But I was so clear focus. I did so much work in 1 hour. Yeah. You don't believe it. It was just I haven't been that clear probably since last year.
Really?
Now we're going with the motion, but not like that. In 1 hour, I probably did about 3 hours of work. It was incredible. Wow. So focused. Yeah. And plus I'm intermittent fasting, so my mind is starving sometimes during the day, even in the morning. I got to be careful with that. I'm hoping my body will start to activate, sucking up energy somewhere else for the time being. Because your mind burns it. If you're always thinking, it's always burning so much energy.
Yeah.
So in the morning, sometimes I'm this. I'm screw it, I'm gonna eat something right now. Egg sandwich or something.
Yeah, man.
But by being clear and concise right now, which is awesome. And so I think that's going back to that. That's translating to the buyers and sellers where everyone's starting to feel clear, right? Look at the weather today. This morning, -20. We're down to -10 already.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible. Maybe someone lives in Miami, but here and sunshine attached to it, that's living. That's life.
Well, I think we're like, I don't know. I've had enough of this right now, man.
Yeah, it's
I
done.
think this is enough.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah, now it's like, I think now it's slowly starting to affect me too. It's just like, oh my gosh, like I need this thing to stop.
I told my wife, I go, our whole family needs some sun.
Yeah.
Kids and us, and even me. Like, so in the summer, I'm like nicely dark and like olive, the Italian olive complexion.
I wanted to say something. I just don't want to come across wrong. Like you're looking really white right now,
White,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's like a conversion.
Yeah,
I was like super
you do
white.
need some sun.
Oh
man.
yeah, no, it's all done. I refuse to go to like tanning beds and all that shit that everyone else is doing.
Something, man.
The EMFs, I'm a little bit terrified with electronic magnetic field. So,
did you book something then?
Excuse me. We're going to Florida. We're going to Disney in August.
Nice. But you need something before that, man.
You looking
kind of pale.
You doing something?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like, kind of what we planned out at the end of last year or whatever else like that. So I always have this kind of downturn in like July, August. So I'm going to really plan myself out of that.
Yeah.
So I think in like June, I'm going to try to do something like go to an all-inclusive. July, I might end up doing a road trip, like going east. I haven't done a road trip in a while. It's mine.
What are you going to bring?
Well, me and my brother, right? Like, and some of my family, like if they want to come. So my brother.
What are you going to car? Are you going to bring?
We're probably going to rent. We're actually thinking about renting an RV.
Nice.
Yeah, we're thinking about renting an RV and just staying on the campgrounds because we used to do road trips and we used to go camping and stuff. So then now it's like really luxurious camping. So maybe what we'll do is we'll rent an RV. Yeah, maybe we'll rent an RV and just go to the provincial parks.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah.
So he's into that. He doesn't like.
Dude, you're okay with all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah.
You're like real Canadian. You're more Canadian than me.
Dude, I don't mind it.
I can't do the camping.
There was a time and I mean tent camping. So it's still like you have like a showering comfort stations and whatever.
Just you're like in the middle of sand and mosquitoes.
Yeah. So, but I used to do it so religiously, man. Like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
Fair enough.
I had the Plymouth Voyager, man, and I had the back seat out of it. Yeah,
sick.
all of our gear was packed into the thing.
Good.
Yeah, and so like every other weekend, like just go camping.
The only my camping is Cuba. It's Caribbean camping.
No, man. No.
You have to fend for yourself there.
I think one of the nicest times I've had was camping, and I stayed up in Algonquin in a tent for like 5 days.
You do hiking and all that stuff?
Yeah, like go hiking and whatever. I can't swim, so we're really off the water.
Like me,
yeah. So
I'm a pool swimmer. Yeah. I could swim like 20 feet.
Yeah, you can.
And then I can hold.
Oh, I can't do that.
I gotta take a deep breath.
I can do 20 feet, but like the water's got to be like 3 feet. Yeah. I kind of managed to get myself over there, depending on how many drinks.
Anything that I've done that kind of broke into something, like riding my first bike was, and swimming was due to like a little bit of alcohol, right? It sort of wipes out fears. Like
You become a little bit more brave.
Imagine this, I'm 5 years old in Italy. We're in Treviso, North Italy at my grandparents' place there. I just came back actually in August. I was there just to visit it. Maybe the last time, we'll see. But anyway, so they had everything's written in Italian, and the fridge, and they had this thing. It looked like Italians. We had this gazzosa, these I don't know, because these trucks they used to come by with like sugary drinks like Coca-Cola, but it was like made, I don't know, like some random Italian warehouse. But anyway, so when I got there, I saw this thing. It's a red bottle. It looked like what we had here in Toronto, right? So I was drinking this stuff. It was called Rosso Antico, which is about like a vermouth, like a wine, like about 11 to like 14%. It wasn't like aggressive, but I drank like a half a bottle of this stuff. So, but not knowingly, naturally. But before this, I had my dad was trying to get me on the bike, and I was fearful of falling. I kept drinking this thing, and every time I came out, I was like going further with the bike until ultimately I kept just driving, right? And anyways, I ended up riding the bike, learning how to ride the bike.
Wow.
And also swimming, the same thing. And my wife's uncle's house, I'm about 23, 24 years old, had like 3 or 4 beers. And I don't know what crossed my mind. I just jumped off the diving board.
Wow!
And I'm in the air.
That's
I'm like,
brave.
but I can't swim. And literally, I made it to the bottom, and I kind of like moved out. Yeah, that's it. Now I can swim in a pool.
There you go.
Nor lake, nor.
Well, it's all the same,
lake,
right? You should try it.
No, I tried. It's not.
It's not
I
the
swim
same.
sideways. I go 10 feet in, and I'll swim sideways. Where the depth doesn't grow.
I'm gonna keep trying it though.
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
I talked to somebody else over that went to Pickering Rec Center and took the classes, like the adult swimming classes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I might.
You should.
Yeah, I
You
might
should.
just do that. Yeah.
It's fun.
I don't know, man. We'll see. But yeah, man. Hey, I had an interesting story actually. I was going to tell you about. I put in an offer in Scarborough on a condo. They listed this condo at like $358,000, and they had one offer that went in on it, and I did the math on it every which way I possibly could, and I felt the unit was worth like 345, 350,
Sure.
right? So I put in an offer for 350, and I was late sending in my offer. Like they wanted it by 7:00. And I told the agent, I'm sending you an offer. And then at 7:01, she's like, where is it? I said, well, just check your inbox. I just sent it to you. So I sent an offer at 350. Yep. They have an offer. It's listed at 358. And she just replies back to me. She's like, are you serious?
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah. She's like, are you serious? We're looking for multiples. And I was like, okay, you had one offer. And then I sent you an offer, and now you're in multiples. There you go. Yeah,
you got multiple offer. Yeah.
Like now you're in multiples. There you go. You achieved what you wanted to do. Now you're in multiples. Without me, you're not in multiples.
Wow, good job.
Yeah. So she was just like being very ignorant about the whole thing, right? So then eventually, like an hour later, I improved the offer to like 368. So we're like about 10K over the asking price at this point, right? And then so she's like, okay, that's better. And she's like, is this your final? And I said, this is it. We're not doing any more than this.
You were asking, right?
Well, we even went 10 grand over asking price. Yeah, 10 grand over asking because the person wanted the unit, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So I said, okay, fine. Like if you want it, you're going to stay in here. Like whatever, that's fine. We still kept the condition in for financing and whatever, and status. But so she's just like, she's like, okay, that's better. Is that your final? I said, yeah, that's absolutely the best offer. You're not going to get any better than that from us, anyways. And like an hour and a half later, she's like, we're on our last rounds. And is this your best offer? Last rounds of what, man?
What does she promise the sellers?
I don't know, man. But last rounds of what? Like we did last rounds when we had 8 offers, and it took us an hour and a half to get to that point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Last rounds with one other offer and my offer, like that took you an hour and a half to get to. Like what last rounds? I don't understand what you did. In
Seasoned agent?
Yeah.
Seasoned agent?
Yeah, apparently, dude. She has this like. Masters in business psychology and masters of business some crap, and it just doesn't mean nothing. And she has like a at gmail.com or at hotmail.com address.
She does a lot of business?
Apparently, I don't know. I didn't run her in the system, but I mean, like, I don't know.
What company?
Based on it's some private-ish company or whatever
Asian?
else like that. Yeah. But you know what, man? I bet you there's not volume. Now I'm curious. I'm going to get it checked out. But the thing is that the way that you represent yourself on your email signature, like literally, dude, like you print an email from this chick, like the email address like of the page is like half the page, her email signature. It's like, come on, man. Like all these accreditations or whatever you claim to have, it doesn't relate to the way that you're behaving in business. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
But we know that the smartest people in the world can't do our job because they can't piece anything together.
It's crazy. But bro, this girl, like this lady, she freaking comes back to me and then she's like, and so I was like, no, this is our final. Like I told you an hour and a half ago, this is final, and I'm not playing games. She's like, mind your choice of words. So I was like, mind my choice of words of what? I just said we're not playing games. I told you an hour and a half ago this was final. We're not playing games.
You just told her to fuck off.
Yeah. I wanted to so badly. You know, some of these people you want to, but then for your client's sake, you're just like,
no. But I understand. But I mean,
I want to tell them something else.
What happened with the deal?
We didn't get it. Obviously, like she.
What did someone pay for it?
I don't know yet. It's still conditional, so I'm watching to see what happens.
Yeah, but you could 10K over 358, so it's 370, 368.
Yeah, we're at 368.
And it's worth 345.
345, 350.
Yeah, so it's not even worth it.
It's
you
like 350.
Dodge the bullet. Yeah. Like now, we always talk about appraisals. Now, how's that? How about if these people come in 5-10%, these buyers?
Yeah.
And now the thing doesn't appraise.
See, the thing is that the buyer really wanted it. Do you know what I mean?
No, yours is fine.
Yeah.
I'm saying the other guy.
But the thing is that I wouldn't drop finance condition. That's just the thing, right? Like I wouldn't drop the finance. And a lot of ways right now that I'm dealing with our buyers is that I'm saying, yeah, we have a finance condition. It's great that your bank is going to go through this paperwork, but you got to find out immediately from your bank if they need an appraisal. If they need an appraisal, I want that appraisal ordered like now, before our 5 days. In the condition, yeah. And honestly, if the bank requires an appraisal, we're not removing the condition until the property is appraised. I won't do it. I'll ask for an extension.
Okay.
Yeah, my strong advice would be not to remove the appraisal
until it gets
unless they're buying $1 million house and they're putting down $400K, then I don't care, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You got 40% down.
So
you're good.
you may have lost that offer, but the seller agent may lose it closing.
Yeah.
Because if that buyer now is only 5% down, 10% down on 370,000, it's 37,000, but the thing's only worth 345,000, 350 in the eyes of the bank. But they're gonna have to bridge. You have to come up another 30 grand.
But you know what, man? Like, okay, so let's back it up to that other deal I had. Remember that townhouse I had? So basically, I listed my townhouse there at $565,000.
Yeah.
I listed at $565,000. We did the sale like 2 streets over, similar type of house, a little bit different configuration in July for $500,000. And then in September, there was another guy that came on just 1 street behind the house I listed at $565,000. He sold at $505,000. So similar style, different configuration, 10, a little bit. Yeah. So we came out at $565,000, and then we got a couple of offers, nowhere near where we needed to be. And I got this third offer from this other agent, and we basically worked up this offer to $557,000. I was super nervous about the appraisal, but I knew that this guy's not putting 20% down. He's going to go through CMHC. So what I found with like CMHC and insured mortgages, sometimes when they do the automatic valuation, they don't come out usually and send out people. The bank will.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the insurance company won't. Most of the time, they won't, unless it's like really fishy. They won't. So I find that if it's less than 20% down, a lot of times it clears through their automatic evaluation process. Unless, like I said, unless you're way off mark. Yeah. So like say in this instance, like this condo, would I have risked it to take out the finance condition? No. But there is a chance that if it's someone's putting less than 20% down, they might just clear it.
But so fair enough. But let's just say now that they do the appraisal. Let's say
if they do the
rolling appraisal, whatever it is, the virtual appraisal comes in at exactly what you're saying, 340, because they're pretty accurate now, right? And they want to go a little bit below actual market naturally because they're afraid of the adjustment. I'm seeing now like all appraisals are coming in a lot less than naturally what it should be. Even if the guy had 20% down, he skipped CMHC, now they get appraisals and he can do it. He's still got the option to go with CMHC because he's got enough buffer deposit originally.
Yeah.
So if he's got 20% down on let's say 400,000 is an easy number, it's 80 grand. And now, the appraisal came in at 380 to the bridge at 20 grand. He still has the option to just pay the CMHC. He's still got enough meat to go in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if someone's going in at 5%, and that appraisal comes
CMHC, he might not have an option of going through them either, because the thing is that they may appraise a property lower too.
But he's got the meat to do it.
Then just lower his down payment amount from 20 to 15 or whatever.
He's going to close. That's a closing buyer.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the guy, like maybe this lady now, she chose this agent or whatever, this buyer. But ultimately, if he's coming down 5-10%, and it's $30,000-$40,000 above market value,
not going to close.
It's not going to close.
No, it's not going to close.
She'll be calling you. She could say, "Can you please use some more words on me, please?"
Yeah,
like bring me an offer.
But you know what? The thing is that so the point of all of this is that I think we're going to end up in a situation where we are going to be positioning some of the properties for multiples. Like I have a property that we're going to basically sign. It's a repeat client of mine, so we will get the listing. We're probably going to launch it early next week. But I think we're in a position right now where this house is located that we are going to try the multiple offer situation.
Yeah.
Haven't tried it in a while. But I think that this house will kind of warrant it. Like, I will be shooting in the low 700s for this place, but I probably list it at $699.
And just hold back 5 days?
Just hold back, a few days, hold back the offers and see what happens. I mean, we've seen a couple of examples like that happen over here. Like there was one that recently happened. So we were showing it to one of our buyers, like one of these other properties that was listed. And at the same time, we know we have this property coming on. So we showed it to them before we hit the market with it. So we're following this other property closely. So it was listed at $699, got into multiples, sold for $737. So, we feel like we have some leverage going in at $699. Coming up in and around that same number-ish.
Yeah, it's something to get used to. I know it's happening all around us, right? When do we?
So you're seeing it happen in the West as well?
Yeah, but not as extensively. Let's say at a lower price range. Let's look at the listing at 1.4 million. Like it's not.
But you're seeing it happen at the lower price range?
Condos, yeah, condos. Like
what about like townhouses and stuff?
Townhouses. Yeah, I have 1 or 2 offers. So not like a crazy thing, but
are they intentionally holding back?
Those are like $800,000 too, right?
Are they intentionally holding back offers, or are they just getting into multiples?
I see more. No, they're just letting it ride, right? And it comes into multiples. But ultimately, in the West, like in the Toronto, for sure, they're all holding back. Even Mississauga, I saw a few ramped in a little bit. I'm not sure if they're. I got to really pay attention to that to see how that's.
Yeah,
working.
like I'm seeing more and more in Pickering right now. Like in Pickering, Ajax, I'm seeing people hold back on offers.
You know what? We're gonna have to if it's going to net our clients the most money, naturally we're going to follow that path. But I despise this bidding war.
You know what? Yeah. I think we just have to become comfortable. Like
and you got to revert back to how it was.
Yeah, like I think what it is that I think we're probably going to see this thing happen a little bit more, like getting into multiple offers. But the thing is that I think it's going to be short-lived, very short-lived. And the thing is that you have to be so well versed with what's going on in the market right now that you have to know the exact second to like pull the plug on doing something like that.
The problem is with this is that, let's say we go into a bidding war, which is great. It'll help us come out of this. We'll boost out of the winter into the spring market and the whole thing. What happens is the prices will get inflated so fast. Yeah. And then we're gonna have this shit like summer, you know what I mean? Like real flat period where everything's way overpriced. Yeah. And then you're gonna have to see that dun like scaling down.
And that's what I'm saying is that I think we're gonna have to be very careful with the way that we're gonna approach this thing.
Well, they gotta be careful too, right? Yeah. Like agents, I think it's a good quick sale and everything is good. But again, banks are different. Everything's different. It's. I think you're gonna have to choose it. You're gonna have to really. Weigh your options when you're gonna promote it and do it, because if you're gonna get 100K over or 50, 70K over, which is amazing. I can't believe we're actually talking about this, but I mean, we're gonna inflate very fast. And
but you know what?
Have a shitty summer.
You know what, Steve?
I'd rather have just like a nice.
I think maybe small inflation in price on certain properties, but like what I'm still looking at and saying is that I think that from what I have seen so far, that the properties are still coming in and around market value. From my trade area.
But look at your condo. So
my trade area. So like that's Scarborough or whatever else. It's a buyer offer. But condos are a little bit different.
345 was your offer, and then
350. We went in at 350.
Okay, but then you went up to 370, and let's say they sold for 380.
Sure.
So 380 divided by
350.
What they're asking? 348.
358. They were asking. 358. And I say it was worth like 350.
Okay, it's already 6% over market.
Yeah.
6% over market.
Yeah.
It's
you know what?
It's not good.
I see condos working in a very different way, like right now, especially the lower entry. Like, come on, 350 is an entry level condo, a 1-bedroom parking locker. It's entry level.
But the thing is,
I think that people, what we've been talking about, man. I think at this point right now, people
my client
are
just texts me. I feel multiples.
Yeah.
Maybe
how fitting.
Maybe feels the energy.
Yeah. But you know what? Like I think that people, what we've been talking about, like these 350 condos are not going to exist for much longer. Like I've seen these things climb from like 200 to 350 myself. Yeah. And I think that people are just trying to grasp right now to get into these.
And they're going to pay whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, look, man, you pay 350 or 365. That 365 condo is not going to exist anymore. So what I was trying to say is that I think that the condo market is a little bit different in terms of price, and at the lower end of these condo prices, I think that they still have room to go. The thing is, what I'm talking about and setting up what I was thinking in my trade area is, and what I've observed so far is that even if they hold back offers, the properties end up trading for in and around market value anyway. So I'm not seeing an actual inflation in market value price. I'm just seeing the style change a little bit. Now, I think that could get affected by people coming in and getting overly excited over one property or something like that. And that's why I say I think it's going to be very limited to what's actually going to end up happening, because I think with the combination of that, we're also going to have increased inventory. When that increased inventory comes up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to start to balance it out. But I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we will see.
But cause and effect. So this condo that you had the offer on is 345.
Yeah.
They may pay 385. They may pay 390. We don't know. Let's just say we went with that 380 mark. It's 6% over market value. Yeah. What happens now? Now you flyer the building. And now someone wants to sell. Wow, he sold for $380,000. Yeah. We have the same unit, but we have granite countertops. Yeah. Let's do the same thing. Now they hold back. So now before it was like, okay, you listed at the market value is 345. You listed at 359. Leave some buffer. You may sell it for 354. Yeah. It's that little incremental. Then that guy sees that sale. Then he listed at 365. And you have that gradual like climb. Sustainability I'm talking about. Sure. Naturally, everyone wants to net the most money, but it's cause and effect. If they're selling for more, they're buying for more. So there's no. Yeah. Unless you strategically sell everything here and you move to to a different province or something, it's different. Yeah. So it's cause and effect. So now everyone's going to keep running off these numbers, and if these bidding wars they keep going over these bloody numbers where they should be, we're going to be in an unhealthy market.
Yeah, like I'll give you another example, man. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to go crazy over asking and stuff like that. I think maybe with this agent over here, like we just didn't get off to the right foot on the negotiating. There was another offer that I did in Scarborough.
You were paying for the unit. What were you paying?
368,
370-ish, yeah.
370. So there was another unit that was
35K over, or was it 25K?
It was listed at 350, so 10K. We were at 10K
you
over.
said value is about 345?
18K. I would say the value is 350 on the place, so about 18K over on the price. There was another unit, man, and we got outbidded on it. So it was listed at 370 and they sold for 375. So the prices I'm not seeing are crazy.
I ran that math wrong. So if you say market value is 345.
350. I think 345 to 350.
Did I put that number in?
Go with 345 if you want.
I did 380. What did I do? 380 if they sold.
I think 380 would be aggressive. I don't think anyone's going to pay 380 for that place.
That's 8.5%. If 350 is a value and 380.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go 380. I think they'll probably end up landing 370, and it's just a bad.
Okay, so still 6 to 8%.
Yeah, it's probably 6 to 8%. But I really feel like the condo market is going to do something different because that's still entry level position for somebody.
For sure.
Even when we talk about Pickering, right, and we're talking about getting into a townhouse for like 600K or whatever else, it's still a little bit more aggressive to get into that versus getting into a 350 condo. So I think
definitely.
So I think those prices will kind of keep going up or whatever else like that. Who knows what's going to happen? I just think that
I'm just saying that if this is you're going up 6 to 8% of value, then the next site's going to do the same, and then
for sure,
400K, 420, and before you know it, and then ultimately the first time buyers.
But this is what's going to happen. Like we know that over the long run,
inevitable,
it's going to happen, right?
Inevitable. I'm just saying sustainability. If we can kind of hold off on all this bullshit just temporarily until we get back to a real healthy market.
But do you think to a certain point? At the beginning of the year, it kind of sets a new price. Like you got to be a little bit more aggressive. Like I try to be a little bit more aggressive with my listings at the beginning of the year.
It's the time,
because you set that precedent. We did that back-to-back townhouse, like we had 500, 505, now 557. Like we set a massive precedent. You think someone else is in that street's going to sell for less than 550
But this is the time, right?
Yeah.
It's the time. Even the house in Nobleton, we listed 60K over market. You have to, right?
So that's what I'm saying is that I think that we're still at a point where we're going to start to dictate the price. So I'm also saying that I think that we are kind of going over the last comps because the last comps are probably set from last year still.
Yeah.
In certain cases, so we are going over those numbers. But once the new inventory comes, we'll level
It'll
off.
Flatten off.
So I think we're seeing that 5%, 8% increase right now in market price. But then we'll probably
be stunted.
Even since then, right?
Well, fair enough. Yeah.
Because the market
lack
will
of
go up.
inventory.
What we say is like 5% on average year over year, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll level off. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and I just it's kind of off this topic, is I was starting to think a little bit more about what is it called, Purple Bricks, because I had that brokerage, right?
I think we talked about last week. Yeah.
So I ended up having to show a listing out in Whitby that was done by Purple Bricks. But one thing I was thinking about is that, and we know, like for a lot of the part, like we have a bunch of agents watching this podcast, and I think that. I think that there is a scares with realtors and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about it, but with technology improving and then these guys like Purple Bricks and all these other companies coming in, I think that for us agents, the only way we can lose is that if we just basically sabotage each other. Do you know what I mean? It makes an opening for these other people to look better.
What do you mean by sabotage?
Not even sabotage, but a lot of times there's other agents talking bad about other agents, or this person did this or that, and we're like really going against each other versus trying to work with each other. And I think that is like if that continues and it goes to a bigger scale, it only opens up more opportunities for other companies and other technologies to allow them to take over part of that process. Do you know what I mean? I think that as realtors, like if these I'm saying this because I was at the Rob Vivian conference last week. Mm-hmm. And I had a bunch of people end up talking to me about like technology and Purple Bricks and stuff like that. And my real thing is that if we're doing our job and we're like working collaboratively with each other as agents and stuff like that, then it's more of a difficult thing for other companies or other products to have an opportunity to kind of sever that tie between us. Do you know what I mean? If we all work together and stand strong, I think it's going to be harder for some of these companies to penetrate it.
It's too tough. You know why I tell you that? There's too many personalities, number one. Yeah. We can't even get along as humans in a country. Imagine as a profession where everyone's trying to make the most money and be the best at what they can do. You know what? How can technology take over something that needs to be personalized? Like I can't. So Purple Bricks is giving these packages, $3,000 to give you an agent. You're not picking it. Like we're not talking about, I wouldn't even allow them to sell the wheels on my car. Like, I'm just trying to say, like, not them specifically, those agents, but that system. Like, so that you're paying $3,000, they assign an agent to you, right? That agent's going to be paid maybe $500 to $1,000 if he sells the property. They give you the photography and stuff like that, and then that's it. Like, now it's you've entered MLS. So what's the gimmick there? Now, we had this conversation last week, dude. Like, we were like last night, like 10 o'clock, 10:30, like tax, the deal get done, status certificate for the other agent that called me, talked about their financing situation, then called my client. Who's gonna do that? Like, honestly, our time is very valuable, and I think a lot of realtors forget about that. Yeah. And I don't think we'll be replaced by technology unless it's artificial intelligence, like a robot that can actually physically do our job and have that sort of touch, because. You know it, man. Like, negotiations is ballet. You have to be so precise the way you do everything. Your silhouettes, your jumps. You're managing so much personalities. It's not a computer can't do that. Look at cars. Come on, cars like the last 100 years. They still have a dealership, storefront, and there's car salesmen there. Yeah. Like, how are they going to replace that? Like I see Tesla's more advanced, and they don't actually have like a dealership. They have it in-house, like, let's say a Yorkdale or something like that, a stage. But for me, I'm a tangible person. I can't make a decision like that. I need to like sit down, run the numbers, and maybe I'm obsolete. Maybe people like me will disappear. But I think for the next 30 to 50 years, or let's say even this 30, we should be fine. Like, I can't see.
I don't think and I see car buying.
Discount brokerage has been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
100 years. Yeah. And they've always seemed to fail. If Comfrey
was different ones that just come around.
If Comfrey was the next big thing, because imagine when I got into this business, they were already there, and they were alive, because like I said, I was part of the Mike Ferry training, where literally I would look for sale by owners, call them, door knock them, try to convert them to actual listings that I can take on as new clients. And I've been following them, like, literally, and I've seen that inventory just dwindle. And you would have thought in the height of the market in 2017. That would have been obviously more easier for people to go to Comfrey. They were going less sales even in the hottest market. Yeah. So I think when people are price conscious and they feel like we're not providing value, I think as realtors we have to show the public why we're so valuable and why we get paid so much money. Because if we can't show that, why should they pay us? That I believe in. Yeah.
But even going back to technology, I don't think technology is going to replace the home buying process. I don't think it's ever going to. Listen, are there parts of it that will get automated, like certain transactional parts of it? Like, will the documents flow better? Will this happen? Will that happen? Yeah. The human contact in order to like go show properties and help them understand what's going on, that's not going to change. There's a lot of, what do you call it? Like emotional component to it. Like a lot of things that are going on, especially when you do that. Whereas in cars, I can see that, maybe not immediately, but I can see that happening. Have you seen like this one spot? Like, I think Ford was trying this thing out, whereas like you want to buy a Ford Mustang or whatever else, you go online, everyone's going online right now and looking at their specs and whatever. So what you could do is for that, like my local dealership is here, okay, boom, I can request a test. They have the car ready for you already. You already have your ID there and blah, 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 and just let you drive off with it. Like you don't have to talk to anybody anymore.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
So like I think maybe that might start to change a little.
But then
bit.
Once you get there, you test drive, they're going to assign somebody to you naturally. Yeah. Then you deal with that person.
But see, the thing is that I think that cars have become almost replaceable, like
a Gillette razor blade.
Yeah, exactly. So like I don't know, you have it for like 3, 4, 5 years or whatever, and it's gone. You know what I mean? But with the house, like it's so expensive, and a lot of people stay in their houses for quite a bit of time, right? Yeah. Or that's their intention anyway. So their weighting on it is a lot heavier. So I don't think it's going to get replaced. I just think that...
I think going forward, you need partnerships in anything you do. Yeah. Like, so, you know, I always promote Nelson and Tunis, my Mercedes salesman. Why? It's not because I became his friend now, like in the last year and a half, but he's just outstanding service. Like, I could never take... Like, he's the guy, right? Mm-hmm. You go there, provides you a car. He's in... You know, usually... I remember when I bought my first new car, a Grand Vitara, Suzuki, and he sold you the car, and they kind of disappear, like in the sense that, like that service, I'm sales, that's it. This guy is like full out, and you know, and I sent them like maybe 10 deals last year. Plus, I bought 2 cars. I was looking for a third one now from him, but it's just he can't replace that. A computer can't replace that. That human component, right? Yeah, because you need that. You need partnerships, and I think housing's the same. Because look at this. Even the service I provide my clients, like let's just go for example. I don't know. Let's talk about investments. I buy them an investment property, And these are normal people like myself, let's say, or yourself like us. Or these are just people, hardworking people, put money aside, investing in a piece of real estate for their kids for the future because they're afraid that they won't be able to afford something when the prices are going. So I locate the house, locate the area, give them the model, get a leased out for them. I lease it out for free for them. I get the business running. We screen 3 to 4 offers until I feel comfortable to prove who I put into that property. And then I run it off to them. I literally hand it off. But then it's one-on-one coaching, free coaching. Like I just, a client of mine, I'm actually listing her house in Bolton now. 3 years ago, she bought this investment property. Every year she gets an evaluation on the property. If she's getting problems with tenants, she calls me. It's one-on-one coaching. Like this is, and I don't like mark down my hours, say, well, they owe me. This is just, that's part of being with me is that full service right to the end. They may have to evict a tenant, great. N12, N11, we'll figure something out. We'll get this thing done. Yeah. But this is, where are you going to go?
No, but that's the thing.
You call a lawyer, a paralegal, anybody, it's $500. Yeah. Crappy information that's invalid. You can't even use it, and you're going to be paying at $500 to $1,000.
But see, that goes back to what you were saying about like how you got to prove your value to the market.
Sure.
Right?
So
that's
even
the thing.
Going back to this client, look at that partnership. Now, if they chose to go elsewhere to buy an investment property, that's them. I can't help them after that. That's their new problem, and then hopefully that realtor will service them the way I did. But I mean, ultimately, when you're with me, it's to the end.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's. So look at those retirees. The same thing. They invested in me to invest out in the market. We bought them a property. The property we just sold for the last year literally set up their retirement. He literally it was like winning the lottery. We cashed in. He got paid. He handed off his keys to his office and he went.
Yeah.
And he showed up at my house. Brought me a beautiful bottle of tequila. We had dinner at my house. It was just like that.
Nice.
It's just, but I'm saying, you can't get that. It's not automated.
And it's also what you said is people are into their job or whatever else. They're using these investments as a investment tool, and you're there to kind of protect them.
It's one-on-one. How much did we pay for coaching?
Yeah, a lot.
I used to pay $1,000 US a month,
and
I never got anything. The only thing I kept it for was the numbers analyzers that I actually created my own now. I might even sell that to the market because it's a beautiful system. But that's the only reason why, because the coaching wasn't really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I paid $1,000 US for it. Imagine getting great coaching on real life.
That's actually making you money.
Yeah,
immediately.
Making money immediately, and also setting up your future retirement, and it's free.
Yeah.
I just do the deal with me, and you get free coaching for. I think that's maybe I should market that, right? That's
that's a good angle. All right, guys, this was East Meets West podcast with Steve Zalunardo and
Hussein Kabani.
This is it, guys. If you guys have any questions, anything you guys want us to address, just want to make a comment, message us privately, leave a comment, and we'll get back to you guys.
Sounds good.
For
sure, guys. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.